Let me know once it's uh, visible.
Okay, we can see your presentation.
Is it visible in the slideshow mode?
Yes. Okay,
Okay,
good.
okay, then I'll start my presentation. So I welcome you all. And my name is Sayon Karmakar, and with my co-author Dr. Shishadri Mohan. Actually, my paper is on machine learning-based imaging in connected vehicles environment, and it's actually a new area of research, and where medical imaging is plays a very important role. And currently, I am a doctor scholar at the University of Arkansas at Rock, and simultaneously carrying out my master's at NIT Sikkim in India. So the contents of this presentation would be, uh, since we have seen a lot of literature on the medical imaging, I would straight away start my presentation on the connected vehicles and how this is connected with the medical imaging, followed by the challenges, and how machine learning helps us in like tackling those challenges, followed by conclusion, references, and research team with acknowledgement. So I would like to introduce what actually connected vehicles is. It is actually a concept where the vehicles are communicating, like there is intravehicular communication, and there is communication of vehicle with the with base station in order to pass on safety messages and their current location and many much data metrics rather than the location. So there's one video, very small short video I would like to share you so that it actually gives a visual understanding as to how this connected vehicles is, or what connected vehicles is. Sorry.
Imagine a future where vehicles talk to one another and to critical infrastructure. This connected vehicle technology can change our transportation system as we know it by enabling safe, interoperable, networked wireless communications among vehicles, infrastructure, and personal communications devices. Connected vehicles provide drivers with 360-degree awareness of similarly equipped vehicles within a range of approximately 300 meters. This secure system keeps personal information private and does not track your vehicle. Drivers will receive warnings that inform them of potential hazards through a visual display, seat vibration, or tone. These are only warnings. The driver remains in control of the vehicle at all times.
So what you just saw is just basically in a nutshell that how why the concept of connected vehicles came up, and the safety is the first priority and the utmost priority given in the connected vehicles domain as to why this concept came up. And the now this connection, now this slides that you are going to see right now, it would basically help you in establishing the bridge between connected vehicles, that is a completely technical communication and vehicle dynamics based research into the medical imaging. So this is actually a very small research work that we are carrying out. And so the we actually helped in identifying, me and Dr. Seshadri Mohan actually helped in identifying the non-invasive biomarkers as to which biomarkers are specifically um, can be assessed in order to assess the mental health, cognitive health, and and all the kind of health uh, present in the drivers. So this basically helps you in and establish this research work that this the in the current slide you're seeing. It's a research work being published in NCBGICT. So you can find there, and pertaining and extending this research work, this video would actually help you understand what driver monitoring system is and how the medical imaging would be actually helpful in integrating with the health of the drivers and integrating with the safety of the vehicles with on the road itself, as well as extended this work to like device based approach. So This is a video. Have a look at it. So on the right side that you are seeing, it is ADAS, that is Advanced Driver Assistance System.
Please fasten your
And on the left side that you are seeing, it is DMS, that stands for Driver Monitoring System. And if you can see the metrics on the left side on the DMS, you see
Camera
what are the
blocked.
metrics. The eyelid openness of the left eye and right eye. And then you have head pose with their roll, pitch and yaw and XYZ coordinates. Now there are specific biomarkers that have shown significant results, which upon the statistics of eye closing and eye opening can detect multiple um, um, cognitive health and mental health and the chronic health of a person, of the driver. And what we aim right now is to integrate this DMS with ADAS, specifically keeping center the driver.
Telephone call. Please keep focused. No drinking. No smoking.
So you see how the vehicular automation and medical imaging forms a bridge, and this video should give you a glimpse of what this bridge is actually. Now under clinical setting, the imaging is very difficult in itself, and but tech, in consideration of feasibility, when you are carrying out this imaging under real-time condition in a dynamic environment, the challenge, there are new set of challenges that I'll be telling you in a bit detail. So the first challenge that you see is uh, the changing luminescence. So under changing luminescence, what problem would be facing by these systems is there is actually the direct correlation of luminescence with the time of the day, month of the year, and weather and the road demography. That is, whenever you are approaching in a tunnel. So the changing luminescence and the changing uh, lighting condition creates actually a very chances of false detection of facial cues, because what we are trying to do in the biomarkers paper in the like we are trying to assess all the biomarkers of the facial biomarkers, and then we are trying to assess the health of the driver. So obviously you would place a camera in the vicinity of the drivers in order to assess. So what would be the challenges like in the imaging? So the changing luminescence is one. The second is mechanical vibrations. Once you keeping the camera on the dashboards itself, the road vibrations, that when a vehicle passes on an uneven road, those vibrations are carried on to the camera, and then it would basically reduce the image clarity, and there is a very high chance of losses of like data on the facial cues, because we are actually tracking the micro expressions. Then the camera's field of view is very essential, is like wider is the viewing angle, more data can be captured. But then again, what problem is that the driver is in a very dynamic place. So the driver itself is moving. So the camera that is detecting the that is acquiring the image should have a large field of view in order to accommodate the person whenever it is moving. So these are some of the like very challenging tasks. And final, and then you have the resolution. Like it is an actually an intrinsic factor of the camera itself, but higher is the resolution, more accurate are the details. So but the problem is higher resolution would generate a very large amount of data, and then actually you would have to do a trade-off between the resolution and the data volume. So then you have the sharpness of the image. So and it is actually the details of the images that are captured, but it is not same as resolution. It is very mistakenly very commonly interchanged with resolution. So the sharpness basically would help in medical diagnosis, and based on the facial cues actually requires good detailed image. And the capacity to capture the micro expression plays a very crucial role. And that is actually because it is the essential factor in finding the coherence, the clinical coherence to the images, that to the medical images. And then you have a focusing issue in the camera itself. So you have to keep the driver in focus, driver's faces in focus in order to acquire the proper facial cues. And then you have a tendency of pixelation. So if the um, like if the camera of like low lighting imaging, low light cameras are not proper, like under low lighting, the cameras tend to pixelate a lot. So the selection of camera plays a very important role in this. And then light exposure directly on the camera. So suppose the camera like you have a camera on the dashboard and there's some external light that is falling on the camera itself, so it won't be able to capture the driver's face. So essentially it is actually the placement of the camera plays a very crucial role. So how machine learning can be used in this connected vehicle environment? The first thing is by addressing the mechanical vibrations. So the blurriness in the images can be removed. There are research. Basically, it has been taken from the gimbal system of the camera. So where the estimation of the motion of the camera is estimated, and then it is being compensated for the image. And then you have video stabilization using convolutional neural network. Then you have L1 norm optimization for synthesizing a part consistent of simple cinematographic motions. So these are some ways to encounter mechanical vibrations. Then you have the facial detection that is very essential in order to keep the driver's face in the center and keep it as a region of interest. Then numerous papers are there that use SVM support vector machines. Then you have recurrent neural networks, region-based neural networks, and then we have convolutional neural networks. You have multiple machine learning based papers and practical examples for facial detection, and followed by changing luminescence. Now there has been research where this changing luminescence has been tackled artificially without the adding of noise. And then again there has been significant work done in the light correction using deep learning methods. So these things that I'm speaking right now, you can find the references in the later part of the stage. And then you have the image correction techniques using TensorFlow, CNN-based unit architecture. Then Duke University actually developed a method called Pulse that uses self-supervised generative models for image correction. So uh, basically, in a nutshell, how I would conclude this, that the connected vehicle paradigm is experiencing a pragmatic shift by the inclusion of drivers for critical decision making process, as well as automating the driving experience to a driverless automation. And then you have imaging under the dynamic condition that is very challenging, extremely challenging itself. So what would be this paper actually addresses the challenges that you would face while taking while imaging under the CVE, and how these intelligent algorithms actually help us in tackling them and resolving them and finding us giving us a pathway to uh, like uh, to resolve them and help us in directing the research to a better position. So these are the references. I took 15 minutes. I'm sorry, I took 15 minutes, but these are the references, some of the references that I've used in my papers. and this is our research team, a very small research team at University of Arkansas Little Rock. And this is the acknowledgement. I would acknowledge my research work to them. And thank you. Over to you, Dr. Su. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. So someone give you a message. Very interesting topic. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. So if you have any questions, Dr. Su, over to you. And if you have any questions, you can email me. I've given it to you. Okay, we have one question. So you have in my email ID in the chat box. You can definitely email me. How expensive is the use of these techniques in vehicles in terms of computational cost? What kind of hardware do you need? Okay. So the answer to your first question is the expensive. Now this factor is actually depending upon the cameras. So you have, like, in a commercial aspect, you would have to take care of the camera, and then you have to take care of the onboard computer that would basically serve as a node and a data acquisition system. The entire computational uh, works that we are doing, it would be actually a cloud based. Now my professor, Dr. Seshadri Mohan, he is in the field of 5G and 6G, like he's been in the field of communication systems. So what we would do is, under 5G and under the 6G communication, we would straight away take all the data and upload to the cloud, and it would basically take less than 2 milliseconds, and then process all the data on a server and then download it. And what kind of hardware do you need? The hardware is basically a data acquisition system, a camera, and then a good network receptive communication system within the vehicle itself. So this is how I would like to answer. For more details, we can always collaborate on email. Thank you, doctor, and thank you for your question. Over to you, Dr. Su.
Okay, thank you.